Now in this technical demonstration, we're going to move to the client-side features, moving the authentication and validation processes directly to the console. This will be facilitated with the Centrify client. And for this demonstration, we're going to focus on a simulated cloud environment that's made up of two systems, both standalone, one for Windows and one for Unix. Now, when we install the Centrify client, there's a couple of pieces that we can use in order to enroll client-side features properly. Now, we can do this through user credentials. We can also do this through an enrollment code. Now, enrollment codes are used by the Centrify client, or CClient, to enroll and enable specific client-side features such as application-to-application password management, or AAPM, dedicated machine credentials, and brokered authentication. So let's run through those steps. What we're going to do here, I'm still logged in as Alex Foster, and I'm going to go down to Settings. And under Settings, there's an option for Enrollment. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create an enrollment code that we're going to use to install and enable the Centrify client onto specific systems. So let's start by creating that enrollment code. So I'm going to click Add. And as you can see here, this is very similar to a Centrify connector registration code. We can specify an expiration date, and we can specify a maximum number of servers that can be used with this enrollment code. We're going to leave the expiration turned off or set to never, and we're going to specify a maximum number of servers to 5. Now we do need a designated owner, so we're going to go ahead and click Select. And for this particular demonstration, I'm going to simply select the System Administrator. And then we'll click Save. Now I have an enrollment code, which I can now copy to the clipboard that will be used later as we enroll those particular features onto those systems. Now the Centrify client, or CClient, can be downloaded directly from the Identity platform under Downloads. If I click on Downloads, you'll notice that we have browser extensions, Centrify clients for Linux, Centrify clients for Windows, the Centrify connector software, which we've gone through in a previous technical demonstration, as well as some AWS command line tools and a Centrify SSH test kit. Now for our demonstration purposes, we're going to switch from the application server over to the DevOps Win server to install the Centrify client and enroll it. So now I've moved over to my DevOps Win server. And from here, I'm going to log in as Alex Foster once again. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to copy that enrollment code so that I don't have to type it in. So I'll come back down to Enrollment, and as you can see, here is my enrollment code. I'm going to right click and select View Enrollment Code, and here it is, so I'll just simply copy it. Now I can download the client onto the system and install it. So let's go ahead and do that. Now there are two components to the Centrify client. There is the client itself, and there's a Windows Audit extension. Now we'll talk about Audit in a future technical demonstration, but the only one we need at this point is this one right here. So we're going to go ahead and click Download, and you'll see that it's downloading the C Agent installer, which we are now going to install. And we'll go ahead and click Next. And now, as you can see here, we can enter in our enrollment parameters. Now, for this demonstration, we're not actually going to use this component. We're actually going to do this from PowerShell. So at this point, we can go ahead and simply click Next. We'll get a message indicating that a manual enrollment will be required. We'll click Next once again, and then click Install. And now that it's installed, we'll click Finish. Now the system itself hasn't been enrolled onto the platform as of yet, but that's going to be the next step. So what we'll do is I'm going to go ahead and minimize my browser, and we're going to go ahead and open up PowerShell. And what we're going to do is we're going to run a CClient command called CEnroll. We need to supply the tenant address, we also need to supply the features that we are going to enable. Now, you can enroll systems, and it's very similar to adding systems to the platform without enabling any features. But for this demonstration, we're going to enable all features. So we'll use a capital F followed by all. And now we need to paste in our code, which is a -C followed by the enrollment code. So we'll go ahead and execute the command. And now, as you can see, the system has been enrolled, the agent has started, and it's enabled agent auth, AAPM, and DMC features. The enrollment is now complete, so now we can move back over to the identity platform. Now, if we go under resources and we go to systems, we'll notice that the DevOps Win system has now been added. Now, it's listed as an IP address because this one is not tied to the DNS information, but it has enrolled the system, and we can verify the features that have been applied by opening up the system and going to the client profile. And as you can see here, it indicates the version and information about the client as well as the client features. So this is how we're going to enroll systems and provide client-side features for Windows servers. Now we need to do this for a Unix server. Now, in order to do this, we're going to do this from the same system, but we're going to use PuTTY to remote into the Unix system. So I'm going to open PuTTY, and we're going to open up the IP address of the Unix server. And from here, we're going to log in as root. And rather than download the software directly from the identity platform, we're going to use a yum command in association with a Centrify repo file or repository file. Now, this is a CentOS system, so we're going to use a yum command. And we'll type in yum install Centrify CC. And we'll put an asterisk to make sure that we get all of the necessary applications associated with Centrify CClient. And we'll put a -Y so we're not prompted during the installation process. And now, as you can see, the Centrify CClient has been installed. Now, we need to enroll the system. Well, we can use the exact same command that we used in PowerShell, which is CEnroll -T for our tenant URL. We'll enter in our URL. We'll add in the same features, which will be all, and we'll need to add in our enrollment code, which I will simply paste. And once again, you'll see that it's enrolling the system. The C agent has started, and the features have been enabled. Now, from here, I'll go back to my platform once again. We'll check our systems. We'll give this a quick refresh. And now, as you can see, I now have the DevOps Unix server. So this is how we install the CClient and we enroll systems with those specific features. In future technical demonstrations, we'll take a look at these features a little more closely and how they're going to be used in our environment.